Welcome to Apples and Oranges, folks.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Welcome, guys. This is a very special episode, as you read by the title. Firstly, though, I am Jack.
I am Matt.
With us today, we have
Pastor Dave.
Exactly.
They already know that, though. They already know who I am. They're familiar with my bibliography.
Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of listeners from your audience, Pastor Dave.
Yeah.
A lot of followers.
My followers. Yeah, my sheep.
Mm.
Is that what you call them?
Well, he's a
Yeah,
shepherd.
my sheep. Yeah. Guide him.
Yeah,
Right.
Got him to water. Make them drink.
shear them, folks. Just some context, by the way. So this is Apples and Oranges. This is a podcast where we usually debate our guests on disparate topics, but today we're not doing that.
We're doing something a little bit different.
Yeah.
And this is our fifth installment of a series we call Holy War.
Fifth or fourth?
Fifth.
Wow.
I think,
that's
right?
actually beautiful. I think that actually, I guess that checks out.
No, it is fourth.
Oh, is it the fourth? Okay, well, this is a new hope of the Holy War.
Time flies when you're destroying atheists.
Exactly, right? So
Real
we've got
fast.
I really couldn't tell you if this is the fifth or fourth time now.
This may be the first time we've ever
This is the first time we've ever done this. Clean slate. This is a reboot.
Yeah, it's a total reboot. So we're doing
But
something.
what's the score been so far?
The score?
Zeros all around.
I think you both
Well,
lost previously.
No. I feel I have at least a couple wins.
A few wins?
At least a couple, because I feel like the last time it was a screaming match, but I had screamed a bit louder.
Mm.
And I feel I actually took him down. And
At least
I think the fans can let us know. Is this going to be on online?
Yeah, it's gonna be online. Yeah,
This is going to be on the online.
Can I get a physical copy?
We'll get you a physical copy.
We'll get you a
Pastor Dave.
CD-ROM, yeah.
That's what I would like to have. Just like the audio played in my car.
Pump yourself up on the way to
I
sermon.
have a 5-disc changer, so I have each of the.
Oh, that's
We'll get you every track individually.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
that
yeah.
way,
I can listen to it. Yeah, just one part of it.
And you can jump between my track, Jack's track, yours.
Yep. That's what I like to do in the car when I'm sitting in the driveway, not wanting to go inside too much.
What do you fear what's inside, Pastor Dave?
Very much so. I live in a log cabin long term, and I'm fearing that that it has burned down. There's not a lot of checks and balances inside there. I don't know if you've been inside a log cabin, but it's very there's a lot of dust.
So you fear the inside has burned down.
Yeah, well, that's what burns first.
wow.
Where's the atheist?
Yeah. So, guys, we should also mention, obviously, Pastor Dave, a man of God, he is here to debunk atheism. And what?
It's already been bunked.
Okay.
I'm gonna rebunk it.
You got that, Matt?
Yeah, I got that.
Okay.
There he
So
is.
his
Of
opponent
course,
is
he's late.
just arrived.
Has no discipline.
Yeah, we actually have a true intellectual. Alex Richards is coming to.
An alleged intellectual. We're not picking any favorites.
Okay, true. There are no favorites, and as sort of mentioned, you don't need to just know all the other Holy Wars to be listening or watching this, because the score 0-0. All the other Holy War. Well,
We never found out what was better, Christianity or atheism.
yeah, and today we're actually about to, in the span of this podcast.
I think it's been pretty clear for the fans who's won. I think there's a very obvious sentiment online and in the comments that many people have left that I have read.
Well, since last Holy War, this did become a Christian podcast,
Oh, that's true.
so we do have biases. But look, you know what? It sounds like he's here. Let me
Let
Matt, why don't you
yourself in, atheist.
go? And it appears he has
Come on in.
No, they didn't have an intern. No one greeted me.
Okay.
Hello. No one greeted me. I'm here now. No, it's not electrical. It's not electrical.
awesome.
Hey, do you have a green room?
No, you're just gonna sit right here.
Okay.
Oh, look out for the camera. Yep.
Put
okay.
a duffel
Be
bag
cautious,
right on
you're
the
in the shot.
burner. He put it right
Yeah.
on
Now, okay, so just tell Piers.
This man's
I'll
never
done.
been in the kitchen before.
Just
He
tell
put
Piers
it.
Morgan that
Right,
That's
sir.
I don't know if you're gonna behave.
Alex,
that way,
right here.
Hi, sir.
That's
can
a
you just
fire hazard.
Alex, right
That's
over
a clear
here.
hazard.
Okay, just wait. Sorry. Yeah, we'll get prepared.
This guy's got a whole duffel
Who
bag.
am I debating?
Hey there.
Hi. You're going to be debating that gentleman over there
just,
with the camera on his head.
Fantastic.
You know who I am.
Okay, thank you.
We've faced off several
Oh
times.
yes.
Gonna pretend that you don't know.
Great.
Oh, actually,
This
could you?
guy's-
Yeah, that's perfect. Just right there. And then
And
you can hit
then-
him as Mike, David.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I'm
it's
sorry.
Chilly outside. Okay.
What is that?
It's just a bit of saline. I'm going to be talking.
Can you
a
flick
lot.
that on? Turn that on, sir.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, awesome.
Great.
Thanks, Alex. Yeah.
Oh, so
I got
this is where
this is the debate room.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, no, this is where we record this podcast. You've been to this apartment many times.
Right. Sorry, I thought I was looking for a lecture hall. I was looking for something like that.
Yeah,
So, sorry, a bit of saline. Great. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Yeah. So, just let me know when we pop off. I don't know. Do you want to start with the opening?
We've already begun.
You
You showed up late. You
We've
knew
already
exactly
been-
when this was going to start, and you deliberately
Right.
showed up late.
Hmm.
Is your
Interesting. Flipped on. Yeah, I think it's on.
Okay, beautiful.
Okay, great.
Then
Check,
we got
check,
you.
check, check.
This guy's an intellectual.
checked in.
Can't even
Okay.
use a microphone.
Okay, so I'll
Can't
just
even
respond.
turn it on.
You know, I'll respond. I don't know exactly what you said, but I can guess. I've seen a lot of your content online. So the title of the debate: the modern era is experiencing a holy war. I was surprised to even to find out that you would be pro this, and it's with the religious right, it's like you're never at least it's entertaining. You're never like bored with what you guys come up with. And I do want to say,
It ain't something I came up with. It's in the book.
okay,
It's already written
okay,
down.
so I'm making my open. So you got to
I
have
didn't just come up with it one
you got
day.
to have your opening statement. I'm doing
Let
my
me come
opening
up with
statement.
a little ditty.
So just to introduce myself, I run the Leviathan podcast. Okay, no. And I do want to say,
it's not for
you'll
laughs.
know. So
Not for laughs. You just plug right off the gate. I just thought as a podcaster, it was a
it's
Okay,
it's
great.
silly
mono
form.
mono.
because
Yeah.
I do want to
Yeah.
just say, I have had people, to be fully transparent, people in my Patreon said, don't go on apples and oranges. It's going to be a stitch up. They're going to edit it. Okay? So I just want to be transparent
No,
about
it's
that.
fine. Look, that's totally
That
fine.
if this is some kind of 3-on-1, I'm prepared for that.
This is not a stitch up.
I'm going to make whoever says that the modern era is in a holy war look like a fool today, and I promise that. So let's. I like to be cordial in my debates. That means when I'm making an opening statement, I don't want to hear from you. I didn't interrupt your opening statement. Did you notice that?
I don't promise anything.
Okay. Well, that's an appeal to logic right off the bat. So we'll get to all of that. So what I'm going to be proposing, before we even get to the substance of a holy war, let's talk about what is holy. I'm happy to take this debate wherever you want to go. We can talk about the problem of evil. We can talk about the incoherence of divine properties. I'm happy to go there, and epistemic gaps that would even justify holiness. Okay. And that's really what I'm going to be attacking to get go. And looking at a bunch of your content online, I'm seeing the same old tired cosmological
How about
problems,
how-
teleological argument. Russell, and you don't correctly grapple with Russell's teapot, and just I think it's probably your proposal, your rendition of the ontological argument is legitimately the weakest I've seen.
Is this
from
guy going to keep yapping this whole time? Or
It's
are we going
called
to
an
get down
opening
to brass
statement.
tacks?
Okay, so is
I
this a
thought-
stitch
I
up?
thought this was a
Is
brass-
this a stitch up?
This is a stitch up.
No,
I
no,
think,
no,
because
no.
I was brought here,
Mr. Richards,
and
we're
I
going to
was
give you.
told I would have the floor for 90%.
Mr. Richards, we're giving you 30 more
I
seconds to
was
wrap
told
up
I
your
would
opening
have
statement.
90% floor.
Okay, regardless,
This
I just
guy's
want,
taking most of the floor.
okay,
Pastor, he's got 30 seconds left. Let's respect his time.
decorum, please.
Go ahead.
So regardless of which direction you want to take this in, it's going to come down to this. The exact same cultural relativism that you accuse everyone else of having, you as a member of the religious right hold in order to justify even the beginnings of a concept of a holy war. And we're going to prove that today. So let's keep it civil. Let's keep it polite. I brought my annotated version of the Bible in case you want to get into text. I'm happy to do that. So, take the floor away with your response. If you want to quickly wrap up your opening statement, because, I thought I was looking for a lecture hall, and instead, I don't know.
My statement is simple. This man is obviously going to hell. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, look at what he's done so far. Showed up late, used a lot of big words
So
like
that's an attack on
like
person.
he's talking about teleological.
Yep, teleological.
What do you think this is, man? We're talking about God and whether it's real or not.
Okay, we're talking about God. We're talking about the holy war.
God, Jesus, you don't believe in none of that.
No, I think
Mary?
prima facie you can see.
You think Mary was real?
No, well, she may have been a historical figure.
Joseph too?
So is this what you're going to allow? If you're going to just moderate, he's just going to name characters from the Bible. I've just
Ezekiel?
Look, is he not a worthy opponent? What's your.
he's a worthy opponent.
You even know these guys? These are the main guys.
Look, I'm really happy that you're here. So, your audience gets to see someone who can make a few coherent statements for once. That's what I'll have to say.
Listen, man. All this notes and gibberish you have written down, I don't need none of that.
Okay.
All right. I'm here, and I know straight off the dome what I'm going to say.
What are you going to say? Can I get an example of some sort of logical argument for why we are currently in a holy war?
Listen, man, it's simple because we got people like you running around using big words trying to scare everybody. But listen.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's it.
Listen, and you bring big books around with sharp edges like that as a subtle weapon and put it right next to me like that.
It's not a weapon, okay?
Listen,
it kind of
man.
looks like a board game.
Exactly. That's basically, that's what it is. Basically, you brought Chinese checkers in here trying to say it's a Bible. You brought in a big box of Chinese checkers.
Checkers.
You
Yeah.
need a Chinese check yourself, buddy. And with tariffs happening, you especially
Okay, yeah.
you
no.
especially need to Chinese check yourself. That's what Trump did.
Right, okay. I thought we would get into this territory. Just for those who don't understand the context of this, there
Can
are
I
those
get this
certain
tightened
people
by
on the religious
25%
right.
tighter?
There are certain people. Excuse me.
Can I
Excuse,
get this 30% tighter
excuse me.
so I can think better, keep my thoughts in my brain?
Excuse me, Pastor Dave. Did I interrupt you once during your
Absolutely.
response?
And do you even
I
have
think
a
this is
title?
technically still his opening
What
statement.
and what
I think
is
this
your
is only interruption.
No, the floor is open.
what is your title, anyways, man? Who am I even debating
My
here?
title? My
Some
name's
smarty
Alex-
wordy.
Okay. So that's
We
a
got a smarty wordy.
that's an second tack on person. So we're going to see a bunch of
Yeah.
logical inconsistencies from this man because he's going to list figures of the Bible as if that predicates some sort of special note. There are plenty of books.
I don't have
I could
to-
say easily that Gilgamesh is the justification for why we're in a holy war, but you would reject that, wouldn't you? I put that to you. You would reject that. Gilgamesh.
I don't even need to know who that is to understand that that's a
Exactly.
load of crap.
Exactly. So God, the Christian God, the God of Trump and tariffs, as you so put, that's the God that's real because you're aware of him. Yet
Yeah.
the hundreds of thousands of deities through history, you reject those simply because of your own ignorance. Is that correct?
They just don't they don't do it for me.
Right. They don't do it.
They
for
don't
him.
have the right vibe.
Okay, so this is what I wanted to get at. I'm glad, I'm starting to feel like this is less of a stitch up because he's doing such a poor performance of representing his side. If you're really on his side, as I suspect and have been told, you must feel pretty embarrassed right now by this man. Because right vibe, okay, that's an appeal to emotion.
Absolutely it is. Are you kidding me? The Lord is the most emotional man. He loves you. When are you just going to accept his love? That rains down upon you. And
All right.
touches you.
I have-
Touches you right up there.
I have one rule, and I put it in my rider, which
Let
you
the
obviously
Lord-
didn't read because it's no green room. We're not a lecture hall. I don't have my celery juice, and I
This
had to bring
guy's
my own nasal cleaner. So obviously my
This
rider
guy's-
hasn't been
This
read.
guy's a complete diva.
But if he fucking touches me one more time, I'm going in.
My hands are clean.
There was
Look
an
at it.
incident in the mailroom. Your rider was
Yeah, the
kind of
rider was mixed up.
There was a kerfuffle. I
Okay,
wasn't
so
really
I seriously
worried about
doubt
it.
you don't have an intern to meet me downstairs. So am I meant to believe that your establishment has a mailman
Well,
or a
our-
male person?
our intern has mono.
Okay,
Our intern goes to SUNY Purchase and got mono at a formal
I've
last
done
weekend.
that. We all have. We've all been down to SUNY Perch.
It was a COVID party.
okay.
S Perch.
Okay, well-
They wanted to pass around COVID because they thought that would be better than a vaccine. They found out that none of them had COVID. They all had mono.
Full dose.
I would just I would like
Why
to.
not get the full dose?
Excuse me, I'm trying to perform a retraction here. I would like to retract.
You would retract.
Okay.
I've never retracted.
Yeah, because you've never changed your mind about anything. You and the
Exactly.
entire religious right do this, and
Because I did
debate
it
you
right
guys.
the first time.
I crush you guys in debate every single
That's what
day
I
of my
did in
life.
school.
Okay.
In school, they would say, "David, this is your first draft." I'd say it's the correct draft.
Oh, okay. You've come
it's
here.
the only draft that needs to be done. Thank you very much.
Okay, this is
I'll
just
spend the rest of class in the back.
this is sort of overloading bullshit. It's just
Doing what
bullshit. No coherent point. I bet you didn't even have your opening monologue was all smarm. I probably didn't even have to be here for it. Okay.
What is that? A Pokemon? What's a smarm?
Oh, so you know about Pokemon, but you don't know about Gilgamesh.
What's a smarm?
Okay, I'm trying to perform a retraction. Do we need to take
I
a
would
break?
hope. How many retractions are there
There's
going
just
to be?
the one retraction.
They
Please
need to
retract.
stitch up your retractions. This is going to be a total stitch job just because you're retractions.
Okay, well, that's what
They're
I'm
going to
worried
have to
about.
stitch this whole thing up.
I didn't mean to accuse you of having no intern. I didn't know about the mono.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
just
Look, your retraction's been accepted, but don't focus on us. You have an opponent here
Yeah.
who's ready.
Copernicus is under the weather.
We have
with
limited
mono.
airtime. You know,
Okay.
the
Let me
setup
get
is
some of that fluid, man. I'm feeling under the weather sitting next to such a sick man. What do? Just blast it up your
shove it in your nose. Blast it
Do I have to do it that way, or can I just do a small piece?
No, you gotta shove it up your nose and blast it up there.
Really? I probably shouldn't touch this, but because you stick it
Okay.
right up your.
So I just want to. Okay,
Do you stick it up your actual nose, Sonny? And don't lie
this
to
is
me.
okay. This is the part that you're gonna edit out of context. It's gonna be.
Debate aside, did you stick this up your actual nostril?
It's going up my nostril.
Oh
it's
man,
it's not infectious to share these devices because
There's no
it
way.
is not infectious.
There's no way, man.
It's not infectious. I'm
Even
not,
I know that, and I don't
okay.
even believe
The guy
in
who doubts
science.
science. The guy who doubts
I
science.
just
thinks
be
I don't
it's
even
careful.
believe
Our-
in science, but I know that gonna get me sick.
Our
Okay, there are
intern
over a
got
million
mono
people
from
in
one of
Africa.
those.
Our intern got mono from doing
Did you
a
just say
sign
there's a billion people in Africa?
Right, over 1 million.
All right, well, I respect that. That's a good argument.
Okay, so and this is what I really worry about. You're gonna edit that whole thing out of context.
Stitch that in. Make sure to stitch his Africa comment in. Because I never would have said something like that.
Over 1 million people in Africa, and that's something you refuse to acknowledge.
That's racist.
Even-
You shouldn't say that.
This is
not
not a
racist.
stitched podcast. We do no stitching.
Okay, all right. So
No, I'm gonna do an insane stitch up version of this.
oh, I know. I'm about this close to going
No,
live
just
for
for
just
clip-
my viewers.
Just for clips. That way we can get people to see the long form in its entirety.
Yeah, I know. I've been on a lot of these kind of right wing. This is
Well,
why
this is
I've
a Christian
avoided.
podcast.
This is yeah. We actually since to the last one where this has become a Christian podcast.
I'm aware of these.
It's
sorts of
the
things.
apple from the Garden of Eden. That's what they're referencing.
Okay, see
and the
right
Orange
there.
Man.
Oh, he
Mhm,
thinks
yeah.
Apple relates it to Garden of Eden,
Yeah,
completely
exactly.
confusing
what
the
the
idea
woman
that,
ate.
that this man
The
thinks we're
woman ate to ruin humanity.
okay.
Of course, once again.
55% of people are women, so I would
Yeah.
put that. Is that in the Bible?
And it's getting
Let's check the
larger.
Bible.
It's
Let's
getting
check the Bible.
larger too.
Because here's the thing. It's like
Even more people are turning to womanism.
okay, yeah, oh yeah, we've heard that before. Who told you that? Daddy Trump? Your dad Trump?
I would consider him more a fun uncle.
Okay. Well, and you know what they say about that? You know what they say about that? And I'm not even going to touch that. Okay?
He's more of a
Because
fun.
that's an appeal to scientism, and it's not scientism. It's called science. There's
All
no
right.
faith involved. We use the method that they came up with. And right here, chapter 26 of Ezekiel. Let me read this to you. And this.
I remember it. You go.
Okay.
I'll say it
How
same
about
time
your
as you.
Oh, he remembers it.
And he remembers.
Because I could go toe to toe with you on the Bible. I could go toe to toe with you on the Bible any day.
Yeah, go ahead. Start saying. It's going to
That-
jog my memory right up.
That's where these, youth pastors, whoever it is, I've debated priests, I've debated imams, yoga instructors, I've debated the whole panoply.
That ain't the
of,
same, man. I don't stretch.
Okay, we'll see. Because if
I
you
don't
fucking
stretch
touch
my
me again,
I don't
if you
stretch
fucking
my
touch me
body,
again,
and I
we'll
don't
see what
stretch the
happens.
truth.
Right.
All right.
So, and it
My
came to
truth is rigid.
it came to pass in the 11th year, in the first day of the month, that the word of
the
the
word
Lord
of the worlds.
of the Lord.
The
word-
world.
You said War of the Worlds?
Well,
This
that-
is what he's trying to
That's what
conflate the movie
reference.
Tom Cruise's War of the World with
I thought that
modern
was
day
Brad-
society.
that was Brad Pitt.
That's World War Z.
World War
Son
Z.
of man.
World War Z.
Oh, yeah, well, okay.
You're not even cultured, man. I saw that
See?
in Canada.
What did I say in my opening monologue? In my opening statement, I said that he would turn this into cultural relativism. And I said, that's the sort of thing. You watch these clips, you watch these little out of context debate things that these guys have stitched up in their own spare time on Final Cut or CapCut. One of these cut softwares, they always use it. The religious writer using cuts. And they'll stitch it up for him. And it'll be like, oh, the left. People like Alex Richards from Leviathan, they're the ones who are doing cultural relativism. There's no truth. Anyone can be anything. But you see right here, he's talking about cultural relativism. Son of man, because that Tyrus had said
This guy
against
just
Jerusalem.
gonna keep talking over here, man. This guy just gonna keep chit chatting the
Okay.
whole time.
Okay, you want to
Talking
debate
about
against
How
Ezekiel?
cultural my relatives are. They're white.
Well,
They're all white.
we'll see about that. Chapter 26 of Ezekiel. What do you have to say about that little chapter?
Well, I thought it was. I mean, last time I read it, man, I kind of breezed through it. To be honest with you,
Exactly.
I kind of breezed through Ezekiel because I felt like I knew his vibe already.
So chapter.
Yeah. Well, here, let me look.
Like great book, so chapter.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a time in my life where I had a lot going on.
Okay. Well, that makes
Had
a lot of
lot
sense.
going on, a lot more than you have ever had going
No,
on.
I've got a lot going on.
Look at that. This guy with his silly books with a gold print on the
Okay.
side.
If you
Look at
touch
his
my book one more time,
silly,
I'm gonna.
shiny books, man.
If you touch my book,
My Bible's got sticky pages, man.
Mr. Richards.
My Bible's got rips. It's got tears, man. This
Mr.
thing
Richards,
is
what do you have
fresh.
going on?
Look at this thing, man. You ain't never opened this thing, man. Look how crisp it is. With the gilded
Okay, I've read this probably,
edges.
Yeah, okay, I'll let you know. I've read this thing probably 45 times.
No chance, man.
45 times.
Look
Cover
how,
to cover.
Look how pristine it is.
Cover to cover. And you know what I was doing the whole time I was reading this book?
Uh-huh.
Ugh.
There's a whole
I was
page on the
going,
Holy Spirit like I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, well, mine's annotated, okay? Because you go a little bit deeper when you start using your critical brain. As a lot of your fans, I've started to see the cracks in your fandom. And that's really why I wanted to confront you today. You think it's all
My
high
fans-
and mighty. You sold out to sell this, youth pastor, big bucks for Pastor Dave. But I've started to see the cracks. People are seeing through you. You're a pay-for-play Christian, okay? You haven't really read Timothy chapter 1. You haven't read Ezekiel chapter 26. A lot of the core chapters of the Bible that any true Christian, and I don't treat true Christians the way that I treat you. Okay?
Listen, man. I don't think you ever met a real Christian, man.
Oh, okay.
You ever met because I'll show you a real Christian outside right now,
Oh,
buddy.
yeah?
Yeah, I will, yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
I'll
yeah.
show you one downstairs.
Okay,
All right,
yeah.
decorum. Let's not get physical, guys. Come on. This is
I'll
a
show you
civil
what a real
debate.
Christian
No
does.
touching. We said no touching.
Okay. So we're
I'll
not gonna
show you
touch.
where the Lord will touch you, buddy.
Look, can we have a little bit of a cordial discussion, get back to the topic? Because, it's just when you do things like threaten me as a person, that makes me feel like I want to fucking take you down.
Yeah,
okay?
settle down, guys. Yeah, come on.
This guy is so intellectual, threatening violence over here. Crazy.
You can do both. I beat the shit out of Tim Pool last week.
Professor
Only-
Richards, please.
Yeah.
I don't even know who that is.
Well, maybe you should see the type of man, the substance of man that's on your side, and see the substance of man that's on my side. Did you know who Sam Harris is? Jiu-Jitsu black belt. So, go on.
He probably just started though. I've been doing it since a child.
Started jiu-jitsu black belt.
Probably, yeah.
God.
Probably since
have
a
been.
child.
I came to jiu-jitsu independently,
Mhm.
and then I found out later that it was a whole thing that was already made up by someone else.
You Ramanajan jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, Ramada joined it.
It's highly dubious.
No, man, come on. 'cause
Brazilian jiu-jitsu
I had
specifically?
I had 12 brothers,
Okay.
and we had to settle some things.
Okay.
So we did what we had to do.
So I think we're beginning to see the sort of psychological foundation that you have to have in order to believe that we're currently, this modern era, in the middle of a holy war.
And you got to take their back.
We're disagreeing. We're disagreeing right now.
And right there, and that's your neck. That's your neck down there. Actually,
I
my
fucking-
hands are actually grabbing the top of your head. Your neck is actually submerged into my thighs.
Yep. Well,
Like that, like a piggyback.
okay. Well, do you know the
They don't
French
even-
martial art of Salat?
Huh?
Do you know the French martial art of Salat?
Inshallah, this guy's going Muslim now.
Okay. I'm happy to go there too. Happy to
that
go
ain't
whatever
even
direction.
French, man.
You see the shaky ground this sort of man brings to the debate. This fabric of a man.
I could wrestle on any type of ground, shaky, slippery, any type
Well,
of ground.
that's certainly where you like to debate.
Certainly, yeah.
We're disagreeing
wherever,
again. We're
anytime.
disagreeing.
Anytime, anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get this thing tightened?
Do you want me to tighten it?
I need this thing tightened 30%.
All right, let's take a little a
Tightening
breather
break.
from the.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you, Matt? Why don't you ask?
This guy-
let's
this
ask each of
guy-
our opponents a question while
This guy
I
needs to
tighten.
get
Yeah.
pampered
I'm
over
getting-
here.
I got
this
a
guy needs to
question.
get pampered in green room.
I think this is going to end in some sort of physical altercation.
No. It's no physical altercations. Look,
it's going to get real, man.
no, it's going to remain as real as it's been. All right, let's keep this civil.
Trust me, man. This shit's
Taking a
getting.
break? We're doing a break?
No.
No.
We're still going.
Don't stitch.
Break from y'all's debate.
Don't stitch out this.
What are you doing?
Keep
Professor Richards, a question for you.
Mm.
What? Oh my god.
Keep this unstitched.
I-
Did you go?
You said you keep up to things. What do you keep up to?
yeah, I'm gonna get some water.
I like
too,
to do a
man.
debate on my stream a day. I like to do a 2 to 3 hour debate on my stream a day. Anyone in chat can come in and I'll debate you on any topic. Basically, I'll debate any topic. I then usually like to do an in-person debate because it's I see it as my own sort of jiu-jitsu. It's verbal jiu-jitsu. Iron
Mhm.
sharpens iron. I'm all for free speech. A lot of leftists and progressives like to push back against free speech. But me as a classical liberal, still on the left, Democrat through and through. I defend the Constitution, and so a lot of debating. Ultimate Frisbee on the weekends, if you want to get to know me a little bit more. But if you try and edit that out of context, I'm not going to be happy with that.
This guy, man.
What?
You were talking about verbal debates, man.
Yes.
And verbal jiu-jitsu, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you got to get one of these on your head. You got to get one of these. It's like a gi for your mind. Keeps you strong. Keeps you limber.
It keeps you limber.
Yeah, it does. Keeps your mind limber.
Okay. So I'm just.
I got a question for you, Pastor.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you get up to?
Man, I get up to nothing but trying to save these souls, man.
Dr. Richards, what are you?
This guy's blasting Sinex. He's blasting huge amounts of Sinex. I didn't say nothing to you, buddy. Oh, man. He got a lot of spillage out of there.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Can you tell me when we're going again?
All right, we're going.
We're going.
All right, good. And
Just
don't take that out.
okay.
No,
We're
none of
just
that's
happening
happening. None of
with-
that's.
No,
edited
no,
out.
no. This is not a
Blast.
stitch job. This is not a stitch
And I'm
job.
glad that's on
Yeah, so
camera.
we're gonna edit that
if
out.
I fall
Because not editing that out would be a stitch up. Because that was a timeout break.
If I
And you
fall
don't have
ill,
a green room. That's the sort of thing I'd be doing in the green room. And I usually wouldn't be buying the $11 Sinex saline myself. You know, I would be provided that by the debate institution. So
Right, but you brought it yourself, and you
That
know
does-
about our intern.
So why did you buy it if you assumed to be a writer?
because I've been let down a lot. Okay, so I've been let down a lot.
yeah.
And based on the way you typed the email asking me to come on this,
So you
Oh,
showed
that was
him-
AI.
So that was AI. The intern uses AI.
Damn.
Also, did you? This was the reason for your tardiness. That you had to stop to get the sign.
Saline?
I had to get the sign.
Yeah,
I
why
was
don't
also
you
looking
explain
for a
that?
lecture hall. I was looking for a lecture hall. I wasn't, I'm not used to.
This is a residential area, so there's
We
no.
gave you the
Exactly.
address.
So I was
Yeah.
surprised. I had to call my assistant and I said, "What is going on?"
What did your assistant say?
She,
He's just scribbling. He's not even
No,
writing
I'm
anything
actually
down. He's scribbling.
scribbling. I'm going to come back
He's
to this.
angrily
And when it's my
scribbling.
turn to debate what you just said.
You're gonna
good
read
luck.
angry scribble?
What?
Come on, buddy.
Could you share with the class what you're writing?
I'm writing angry. He said it's angry scribbling.
Angry scribble.
It's
yeah.
not. I have a specific type of handwriting, just in case. Here's another stitch up of this whole debate. When of the history of debating do we the interlocutors sit side by side, okay, with an action
What'd you
camera?
call us the interlocutors?
Yes, we're interlocuting. We're interlocuting right now.
Man,
Okay.
that ain't real, man.
Okay.
So,
Oh, and you're gonna
a lot of
edit.
the words you have said have been real, but that one ain't real.
How about this?
Interlocutors.
How about this, Pastor Dave?
Go ahead.
In a perfect world where these chumps aren't editing out those big words, we're gonna see what the audience has to say. And if the audience is like, actually, I'm a professor of language, each one of those words, real. What are you prepared to give me $10,000?
Yeah. I would give you 10,000. So our only problem is your logic brain, buddy, is that the world is perfect, okay?
Okay.
Trump's prez,
Okay.
tariffs, real hard. And guess what, man? Now there's Mountain Dew in gas stations.
Okay. Great. Great. I'm glad.
So what's the problem then?
I'm glad you
What
brought.
could you possibly complain about? You got Chinese checkers here. You're living the good life, buddy. You're looking for green rooms and Sinex. You're looking for random lecture halls in the middle of Bushwick.
Okay.
The
Great.
burning Bushwick, by the way. Very religious town. I was talking to everybody about it
It's
on the train. On the
preponderance.
J train, by the way. Jesus.
I just want to. That's a preponderance of garbage right there is what I would first call that. But I'm glad you brought this up. The problem of evil. They're living in a perfect world, okay? Oh, the ontological argument, the perfect creation, thus God, perfection exists. Okay. Problem of evil, then, okay, if this is such a perfect world created by God, why how come there are over 1 million people in Africa right now? And you know how it is.
This guy keeps on bringing up that stat.
Yep.
I can't believe you got to let this guy keep on bringing that up.
And yet you haven't
Throwing that in my
correctly-
face.
supposedly you invented jiu-jitsu in your own brain, but you haven't
I did it independently as a child.
once.
I took my brother's neck.
once.
I took his neck as a child and I said, I think there's more to this.
Not even one time. Not even one time.
Go ahead.
That's my sentence.
I thought there was a lot more to that, man.
No, that's
You just basically brought up my resume. Invented jiu-jitsu.
Mhm.
Really good at Bible.
Oh, so
Whatever
good. Hasn't even
third-
read Ezekiel chapter 26.
Listen, man, I started it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I started it. Yeah, a long time ago. Galaxy far, far away. Shit.
That is
type shit.
that is the sort of thing that makes me furious. That sort of tomfoolery. Okay, the time for levity was before this whole podcast became a trap.
Listen, man, you didn't know what it was like before this podcast. You weren't even here, buddy.
I was on a call.
Yeah.
I was on
should've been
several calls. Much more, Piers Morgan wants to have me on.
Should have been calling your local pastor and asking what's going on.
No, because I get to see
Should
him.
have been asking, when can I come to Lent hangouts? Lent support groups.
Excuse you?
Lent support groups?
What is that?
LSGs?
That's the first letter of each of those words.
Yeah, it's common. People quitting chocolate, quitting pickles. Pregnant women quitting pickles.
What?
Must be hard.
You know how hard that is? For a she-bear to quit pickles? You ain't never even seen that. To get between a pregnant woman and a pickle jar in 9 months. Good luck. Good luck, partner. You're going to lose something. Forget jiu-jitsu. Just get the fuck out.
I never said I did jiu-jitsu, okay? I said Sam
Well,
Harris.
it would probably
I said
help you.
Sam Harris is a jiu-jitsu
I
black
love that
belt.
guy. I love his app.
I said
Love his mini app.
I study French salad. And if you
Are
want
you,
to go
saying, are you saying salad? Are you saying salad funny? French
If
salad?
you want to go downstairs,
No.
take off our shoes and just fucking pound for pound, punch for
Barefooted?
punch, barefoot to the death. I've
Barefooted?
done
Not
it
a
before
violent
with
podcasts.
Barefooted,
right-wing
but-
zealots. I've done it before. I went to jail for the last weekend.
For
You
the
want to ask
last
me why?
weekend?
The
Why?
last weekend.
Yeah, why were you in jail last weekend?
Probably being a smartass.
For beating the shit out of Tim Pool. Okay?
Tim Pool didn't deserve that, man.
No, he didn't. He didn't even know it was coming.
He didn't
What does he
deserve
look like
that.
under the hat?
Let me tell you something. Under the hat, it's all down there. So.
Oh.
Are we ready for closing statements?
Already?
Well,
Listen, man.
Oh,
I
we've
see
been
some
recording.
30 minutes?
Okay.
No, not that. Well,
Listen.
the podcast doesn't have to end once the debate ends.
Sure.
We can do an after action report.
But I would like to inquire something.
Please.
Something I have inquired several times. I've been on the show. I've been probably the most recurring guest. Probably the most requested.
This is
You are probably the person who's been on this podcast the most.
The person most requested by my internal close family. Okay? Now, we discussed this previously. This guy over here has been doing a lackluster job for the past few years. He's been doing a very
So
lackluster
you know
job.
what's actually
And a lot of people didn't see this earlier, but he didn't know how to find the menu on that item right there. He didn't know how to find the menu, and I clocked it immediately because I have good peripherals. I've been trained to have good peripherals because you never know when
you were looking.
when you're proselytizing and somebody might come up with a quick question. You have to be able to, you know what I mean. If someone becomes possessed, you have to be able to be mobile.
Not a
and
peripheral. Right in front of his eyes. I'm starting to think I'm actually siding with this godless prick.
And that is correct.
Wow.
He really is. He is a godless prick. For
I'm actually
sure.
thinking I'm siding with him
Coming in with a huge Bible to try to establish dominance.
because I was
Get out
trying.
of here, buddy.
I was trying to turn the other cheek. Leviticus. But
Yeah.
the
Leviticus kiss the other cheek. That's what I do.
issue is that you bring up this old beef you have with me.
Uh-huh. It ain't personal. It's purely professional.
It's totally personal.
It's purely professional based on what I've seen you do in this role and your commitment. And how would you rate his commitment to this role as
Look.
somebody who you've seen my devotion?
Look, I know your devotion, and I
You've seen my devotion. Come back here every single time. Never ask for a dime, even though my time is money.
Pastor Dave, look, you're the most on time. You're the most.
Uh-huh. I
The
was
most-
you're
I was
extremely
earlier
punctual.
than early.
And look, I actually won the 100th episode. So for the next 100 episodes, I am the head hundo of this podcast. And
There
Matt,
we go.
I'm the head
Wow.
hunchback.
That's
Okay.
that's,
So-
that's what it's
And
been.
we had these two statues made of us.
Uh-huh.
So-
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. So this is coming together now for me. This is coming together exactly what this is. I just want to quickly sum up what you said just now.
God's gonna
Oh,
touch
okay.
you.
So now what's gonna happen?
Hey, easy.
This guy's using He's using head jiu-jitsu. I'm not used to that.
No
man.
salat. No salat.
No salat in this
No salat on the podcast.
Hey, whoa, man.
No
I
salat.
thought
No
no-
salat.
I was told
guy-
that
I feel
there
like
were
I'm in danger.
rules, okay? But there were rules. There are rules, okay, where I'm not allowed to be fucking
yelling.
touched.
You're yelling.
I'm not yelling. I'm being charismatic.
calm down.
I'm being
calm down.
okay.
Oh no! Hey! Whoa! Oh my!
This guy is using head.
Doing salad.
okay.
This guy's using head salad.
There is rules here, okay?
He's got head salad.
We all know
He's
what
head
I'm
salad
capable
everybody in here.
Everybody now knows what's
That
going to
wouldn't
happen.
have happened if I was security at this podcast. If I was hired
Everyone
security.
settle down,
Will
settle
you do
down.
security for us?
Yeah, I'll
Settle
do
down.
security.
So let's reestablish some rules.
May I touch your notes?
Yeah, you can
May I
touch my
touch
notes.
your notes?
They're all wet now.
This
I
guy-
spent hours on those notes, and they're wet.
He were angrily scribbled for hours. Probably has
Let's take a
carpal
look
tunnel
here.
now.
Most recurring.
Don't look at his nose.
So this entire, I've never.
You
can I
know
tell
that shit is crazy, and they're gonna have to bring that to the cops.
One
man.
of the bullet points is just the word argument.
yeah.
He's been doing a lot of arguments. So I want to say,
Let's let that handle itself. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's water.
let's let this be a metaphor
Uh-huh.
for what happens
Yeah.
when we break rule number 1. Okay, and it was in my write-up. We don't start fighting me just because you guys are of the religious right, you know, and I'm here to be a bit of a sense.
Actually, he just put his hand on your shoulder. He was being
was-
friendly.
Okay, hand to the shoulder, that's the lapel. And the lapel grab, cross, it's choked out in 3 seconds. That's
Yeah.
a blood
We
choke.
No, he knew.
We
He
can
knew.
play the footage back and show him
Oh,
clearly. putting
yeah,
his
I want to
hand
see
on
your
it.
highly edited cap cut footage where I'm instigated some sort of headbutt.
No, it's not cap cut. It's a stitch up.
Okay, you stitching it.
We're
It's
using-
stitched.
We
Yeah.
edited it into software that we found online. It's called Stitch Cut.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what happens is you give me the wrong time. I show up not hearing the probable all these insults that happen in his opening statement, and you guys are acting like the debate's already won. He's being cocky, laughing, and then tries to do a blood choke with my lapel. Okay, and then the host of this show gets up and I think it was some kind of upper nose palm. He was gonna
Really?
shove my nose back into my brain like a scarab beetle, suck out the knowledge from my own skull. So then I'd just be like this for the rest of the podcast, not knowing how to debate back. But I have lots of debates back, and I got fists of fury.
Listen, man, nobody's gonna hit your nose back into your skull,
Like
man.
a fucking scarab beetle.
If they hit your nose back into your skull, it'll hit dead air, man.
Oh,
You got dead air up there,
very
man.
kind.
Yeah.
Very kind. It's not very kind. I was joking around.
Come on,
You
man.
dickhead.
Hey, listen,
Oh.
listen.
Guys, please.
Let's keep this
Guys.
civil.
This guy was supposed, and that's actually a compliment. If you think my dickhead is this big,
That's crass and crude. And I don't think anyone, you're meant to be a youth pastor, aren't you?
yeah, I
Talking
am.
about penises.
But I go PG-13 when it's necessary,
Well, I hope the parents know about
and my
that.
kids understand it too. I go earmuffs.
What?
I tell them earmuffs,
And they put their hands up to their.
and then I do what I
You
have
have
to do.
kids
There's usually one kid who's sort of a bad one.
of
Bad,
your own kids,
bad apple. Yeah, I have several children.
and usually there's
I'm
one
youth-
that's a bad
I'm
one.
youth pastor
Usually.
for my own biological children.
There's a.
Do you
My own
homeschool?
flock.
Do you homeschool, Pastor Dave?
Yeah, every time.
Do you get complaints
Every
about
time without fail. Perfect success rate.
you platform?
They all get in.
You platform these people.
Little nepotiz.
You platform these people. Okay, and
These
you
guys getting awfully close.
you cam them up because I'm allowed to get touched.
But you're allowed to get touched?
I didn't say that.
This guy-
Are you gonna stitch? Oh,
This guy's gonna get touched.
you're gonna stitch that in, and then I'm gonna look like an insane guy who's destroying this set. God,
Man, this
this
guy's-
happens so often, and yet I still come here. And my Patreon, they told me not to come here.
Is that what happened with Tim Pool? Did you destroy his set as well?
Oh, that's how the tape would look. The tape looks like I go in there uninvited, start beating the shit out of Tim Pool from behind, and putting his mics in water.
Yeah, you only put our mic wire in water.
Pastor Dave, are you okay? You had something you can say?
Listen, man.
What?
Listen, I came in here a civil servant, man.
Came in here with a civil suit. Well, you're leaving here with a civil suit.
I-
Sorry. Edit this. Just do your line again.
Do your? I came in here. I came in here as a civil servant.
Well, you're
man.
leaving here with a civil suit. Use that one.
Clip it.
Yeah, we'll stitch that.
Fuck, man. Well, listen,
We're
man.
objective. We'll clip it.
I came in here knowing full well this could get extremely physical and volatile, man. And that's why I didn't even stretch, because I knew this man wouldn't even be close to it, even close to an opponent that I should be prepared for physically.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
spiritually, I've been prepared for you for years.
Wow. Well,
and I don't have to read no Ezekiel 36, 22, 36, 29, 46, 33 to get ready for your ass. All right?
All right.
Man, this guy's over here playing games, man. I think it's
clear. Shit, I'll take you out.
I think it's clear who won.
Let's drive out to the Adirondacks, take our shoes off, lapels only, naked, except for some lapels, and see who blood chokes the other one
there's
first.
not. We mustn't fight, guys.
We don't do blood chokes on this podcast.
No, we don't do.
Can we do it like
we're allowed blood chokes plural because you're allowed one blood choke. You're allowed to blood choke me.
Yes, one was allowed against you, and you've already.
And now he said it, and
you've done one as well.
You should not refer to it as a blood choke.
It was.
But both sides get one blood choke.
What does that tell you?
That sounds good to me, but we have to do it. We have to do it dual style, where we both stand back to back, take 10 paces, and then turn around.
Go right back for the lapels.
Go right back for the lapel.
You know, I'll come in.
We got to hang dong for this, man.
No more blood chokes, though.
Yeah, but we gotta wear these too. We gotta wear GoPros for it. Blood choke, GoPro blood choke.
You know, I come into
YouTube shorts would eat that up.
Layer them together so it looks like a 3D movie.
Yeah.
I drove 2.5 hours from Montauk to be
POV blood choke.
I immediately get blood choked. None of my edits make it in the show.
I'd watch that in VR. POV blood choke.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're gonna.
The wife's out. She's in Sarasota for the weekend. I'm gonna watch a POV blood choke.
Oh, what's she doing in Sarasota?
She's taking in another man.
Oh no! I'm sorry, Pastor Dave.
I'm so sorry,
Pastor
Dave. Oh my God.
She's taking another.
Oh, I'm sorry,
She's
Pastor
taking
Dave.
another.
I'm sorry about that.
Everybody. We made a deal. Me and her.
Oh, okay. This seems not Christian. Like it doesn't seem Christian.
The most Christian thing you could do. I mean, and I asked myself, I said, what would Jesus do if he got cucked? Probably forgive. Take her back every time.
It sounds like you prearranged.
Yeah, I said, don't worry about it.
That's not the same as forgiving.
I said, don't forget about it.
Dr. Richards, are you married?
This guy's a doctor?
Yeah.
Is that real, man?
I was adopted when I was little.
No wonder you were. No wonder you were late, man. Doctor's always late. I'm always sitting in there.
Well, yeah, we can agree on that. We can agree on that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm.
Oh! Hey, no salon, no salon.
No salon.
1-0.
This guy's got a concussion.
All right,
holy shit.
This guy's clearly got a concussion from trying to smack people with his head. He came in super late. He thought the stove was the green room, and then he spilled his shit all over, and then he blasted Sinex everywhere. This guy's clearly concussed, and he's making up words like teleological and interlock.
That's completely falsified.
It looks like he blood choked the floor.
Yeah, and he's paranoid about getting stitched. He's got post-traumatic stitch disorder over here.
Clearly. I'm just going to need 20 seconds, but I've not concussed myself.
This guy's clearly concussed this whole time. I'm battling a mentally ill man over here. Is that what you call it? If someone's got a concussion?
All of that is completely falsifiable.
Yeah, we just got to give him a second.
Yeah, we just got to give him a second.
He's doing weird pauses,
but you know,
man.
It's just important that you don't touch him.
He's abruptly...
He's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine. Look, that counts.
We need to bring this guy to wherever he works.
No, we'll get some more Sinex and we'll be fine.
Just gonna have
Oh man, this guy is tired.
We probably shouldn't let him fall asleep.
Don't let him fall asleep.
Don't let him fall asleep.
No, this is a common
Alex,
occurrence.
the debate's still going. You got to do your closing statement. Shine a light in his face.
Yeah, shine a light on him.
tomorrow.
No,
Shine a light
you
on him.
got to do
Spray him with the Sinex. Spray him.
You really have to
Spray him
wake
with
up
that.
here.
Wait, get one up his nose. It'll activate him.
Yeah.
You're so tired.
Wait, here.
We're gonna have to spray him with it. Open up.
Rip that.
Just give him one of the
I'm
old
not
ones.
doing this. I'm not doing this. Let's forget our differences. I'm doing this for your own health.
Yeah, just this is gonna get him
Put a
going.
little. Is that how you do it?
Oh, he's back.
Okay.
Wake up!
Okay. So
I think that works.
this man, I think, closing statement. This man,
That's it.
what he's done, as predicted, he's taken to do with this stance of cultural relativism. It's complete projection. Everyone with the religious right is a cultural relativist, which is the entire substantiation of his kind of incoherent definition of a holy war to begin with. He brought us through the problem of evil, but he just hand-waved it across. He hand-waved it across into a blood choke using my lapel.
Pastors have to use their hands. That's how they
Okay.
get the point across about how important
Let's not interrupt Pastor Dave. We got to keep decorum.
He
He's
talks
talking
about
about hand waving. That's important.
He talks about a perfect world. And yet he brings, out of his own evidence, he brings up the fact that his wife is taking in another man. That's something I'm confused if that's some sort of false flag, or I'm going to be stitched up as me saying that, which I don't want to be the case. And I just want to put, if in case in 1 in a billion chance that this closing statement gets left in, there's been a bunch of stitch ups throughout this whole thing. They said I can be touched. They edited out the original assault on me. They made it look like I was trying to trash the studio. And then there was a part where I don't even remember what happened. And that is most alarming. Go ahead.
Great job, man. I think you're doing
Thank
a
you.
great job considering the circumstances, everything that's happened to you today mentally.
Thank you.
I won't say anything bad about this man. I feel it will come off to me very badly because this man is clearly concussed and has had a serious
It's completely
problem.
falsifiable.
And it's come in here. I'm a very empathetic man. You know what I mean? And I don't like to shit on people who are clearly going through a difficult time. So
Obvious appeal to
I'll
reason.
just say that. What's his name? Doctor
Is-
Doctor Headbang. What's his name? Doctor
Alex. Just call me Alex.
Okay, yeah, Dr. Alex. Dr. Alex did a great job today. He really.
Hey,
Get the Sidex, man. This guy, he's clear. He can't stop.
Pastor
He
Dave,
can't stop headbutting, man.
Pastor Dave, you provoked him though. You knew
I
it was gonna
I
happen.
absolutely did not. I would never do that. But everyone did see that he did attack me 3 times, and others in this room. And I will just say that. Just notice how cool that I've kept myself,
You have,
and how the
it's
Christians
been
are actually
all-
the cooler ones.
It's been
The
all
Christians are way
emotion.
cooler. Cool Christianity is the new thing, man. And check me out on Church Twitch. I'm on there, Church
Check
Twitch.
me out at Leviathan Patreon.
Okay.
He's ill.
Better eat your